riders now hit Burwood Ridge in the final ascent before the long drop down into Burwood Mantle itself. Every sinew screaming after the grueling challenges of the Devil's Back. Oh, and there goes Greg Eden! He's done it again! Furious attack from Eden, but Mitch McCordle staying with him this time. Mitch McCordle got caught out last week in Bristol, but not this time. A furious attack from Greg Eden, absolutely textbook, time to perfection. We weren't sure whether it would happen twice in a row, but the young rebel rider from Team DJM has not let us down. This young lad will have to be careful or he'll end up a rebel without a team. Same as Bristol, same power in the attack. That sudden surge of
Greg's
speed.
in the lead. Can't believe he's done it again. Mitch is second, Eden third.
Once again, it looks like Greg Eden has ignored team orders and is going for the outright win. This will not make Team DJM owner Des McCordle a happy man. Young pretender Greg Eden justifying the orange jersey in the lead. Mitch McCordle in second place with older brother Aidan McCordle in third. So it's a 1, 2 and 3 for Team DJM. We're now seeing the faithful crowds of Burwood Mantle. Have they got a treat heading their way? This should be an explosive finish to what's been a fantastic... And there's the yellow flag, which heralds the imminent arrival of the riders. And here they are, Greg Eden still leading, Mitch McCordle second. Clear daylight now between the leading pair and the rest of the pack. Final stage, 3 short laps of the town, the crowd seeing the riders more frequently.
Come on, Mitch! Come on!
Go on,
Do it!
Wrestling on the other side. We have to watch this rubbish.
Don't encourage him, love.
Go on, Mitch!
We've seen some great finishes here, and I don't think we're going to be disappointed today. Greg Eden's decision to go for the win is going to strike at the very heart of Team DJM. Des McCordle, a very proud team owner, always keen to promote that sense of DJM being one big, happy family. They weren't after Bristol. I suspect they won't be after today. Desperately close now. Has Eden got the strength to hold off this final attack from McCordle? Has McCordle got enough fuel in the tank to snatch back that lead? McCordle just rocking and rolling a bit, rocking and rolling, trying to get the power through those... And they almost touched, and they missed. McCordle has just lost his rhythm. Drama all the way. The final 20 metres, and Greg Eden crosses the line. A second consecutive win for this precocious young talent. A fantastic win for Eden and bitterly disappointing for McCordle. We knew it had all the makings of an all-time classic after the drama of Lincoln. Ravensdale, not even a podium place today. A lot of work still to do. Mitch McCordle will be gutted. He'll feel like he's let himself down, but trust me, he could not have done more today. He simply could not match Greg Eden for pace, for technique, and for outright class.
Well done, Greg. You know the drill. Warm down first, then you can celebrate with an energy drink. You did well.
No, I didn't.
There's still the final stage.
I can't catch him, he's too far ahead.
Mitch.
Yeah, come on. Let's take a picture. Come on. Number one. Well done.
Well done, Greg.
Thanks, Des.
Hey.
Boy done good, huh?
Bike done good. Boy just pedalled.
Hey, it's not over yet.
Come on, let's go.
26 o'clock. Works every time.
No sign of Charlie or Cam. Clearly not very fit, those two.
Dada. Dada.
John? What did you just say?
Bad dog. Bad dog. He was eyeing the Battenberg.
I hope you're not encouraging your daughter to say Dada rather than Mama.
As if I would. What is it?
Not good news. I'm afraid you're needed, sir.
All riders competing in the regional time trials must be registered by 15:30. That's all riders.
Victim is professional cyclist Greg Eden, 23, found by one of his team members. He was in the middle of his warm down after the race.
Professional cyclist? Are we talking Bradley Wiggins here?
Not quite. It's run by the Cycling and Road Race Association, CARA. It's a few rungs down the cycling ladder, but still elite performers. He belonged to Team DJM, owned by and named after local businessman Des McCordle.
CCTV?
Not here, but I've requested mobile phone footage from anyone in the area at the time.
We'll need to speak to everyone involved in the event. And tell me, how did Greg Eden do in the race?
He won it.
What have we got, Cam?
Trauma to the side of the head would suggest he was catapulted off his roller at speed against the locker. Fell somewhat awkwardly by the looks of it.
Enough to kill him?
Not sure. There are no obvious other signs or marks to suggest the cause of death.
Could it be natural causes?
Unlikely. The spokes are buckled as if an object was inserted into them. Probably one of these. Shoved into the spokes, throwing him off his bike. Not sure what happened after that. I'll know more when I get back to the lab.
We've gathered Greg Eden's personal belongings from his locker, mobile phone, wallet, etc.
Check bank records as well. Who were the other two?
Des McCordle's sons, Mitch in the middle and Aidan, his older brother. Mitch is team number one, or at least he was. Greg looks set to topple Mitch from the top spot.
Rivals as well as teammates.
And there's one more stage to go. Plan is for that to start here in a couple of days' time.
Plans, Nelson, have a habit of changing. Let's talk to the race organisers.
Please, everyone. Detective Chief Inspector Barnaby would like to have a word.
Thank you. I can now confirm that Greg Eden died immediately after the race, and that we're treating his death as suspicious.
You think someone killed him?
Yes. And while we're investigating, no one is to leave the area.
What about the final stage?
You can continue your preparations, but this is a murder investigation, and that comes first. If I have to pull the race, I will.
The entire race is under threat.
Yes.
Now, I understand this matter is a huge concern for Des and his team, but does it have to affect the rest of us?
We didn't bring this on ourselves, Reese. Someone has clearly targeted us.
And could target someone else. So, yes, I'm afraid every team is at risk. We will now need to speak to each of you individually. Mr. Lamorat?
And we will do everything we can to help in the light of this tragic event. Thank you.
Inspector, Councillor Appleton, and I've been involved in organising the race. Obviously, today's been terrible for everyone. But there's meant to be a market fair happening. People have worked tirelessly for months in preparation. Can it continue?
At the moment, I see no reason why not. Tell me, how many years has the race been running?
This is the 5th.
And have you been involved in its organisation from the start?
I have.
Then I'll need access to your files and records.
Of course. I'll do whatever I can to help.
What are you doing?
Nothing, I'm checking some legal documents.
Nelson, you talk to the McCordle brothers. I'll have a word with their father. Mr. McCordle, what can you tell me about Greg Eden?
He was a great kid. He was ambitious, hard-working, ready to go to the next level.
Do you know any reason anyone might want to kill him?
Of course not.
What about rivalries?
It's a competitive sport. There's always going to be rivalry.
And I gather Greg was on track to win the race outright.
Yep. Dead set. Took us all by surprise, him pushing Mitch into second.
What are the riders competing for?
The winner gets a chance to join the elite racers who compete internationally.
So your son, Mitch, in particular, has benefited from Greg's demise?
That, as I'm sure you will agree, is not what's important right now.
DS Nelson, I need to ask a few questions.
No? They're exhausted and they just lost a teammate. We all have.
Which is exactly why I need to talk to them. And then you'll all need to make individual statements to our officers.
It's fine, Kim. Obviously, we're all a bit shook up.
I need to know exactly what was happening at the time of the murder. Who was around, what the routine is. Which one of you found the body?
I did.
Your role being?
I'm the mechanic. I look after the bikes, and Kim looks after their bodies.
Team masseuse. I oversee build-up and recovery between stages.
So when a race is finished?
The riders warm down.
And I asked them about their bikes. I saw Greg straight after the race. He said he was fine. He went to his warm down. I went to check on him.
How long was that gap?
10 minutes, maybe? Not long.
Who could have gone in there in that time?
Could have been anyone. After a race, the place is swarming. It's chaos.
Okay. What about relationships? Did Greg have a girlfriend?
No, Greg was single.
And were you all close to Greg?
Well, we were all on the same team, but it all gets a bit intense.
Greg was a bit of a loner. It's a shame, really.
I'll take that as a no then, shall I? And in terms of the other teams, who are your chief competitors?
Reese, Dexter, and Ravensdale. They're the ones pushing us closest.
How are relations with them?
They'd crawl over our backs to win. They're ruthless.
Mr. Dexter, Team DJM are your main rivals, aren't they?
I prefer the word competitor.
Yeah, we understand what's at stake for the individual who wins the race, but how important is it for the team or for you as an owner?
It's hugely important in terms of attracting sponsorship deals. If your rider moves up to the next level, fresh opportunities open up for the team as well.
What was Greg Eden like?
Honestly?
Preferably.
What they call a precocious talent. In other words, a cocky upstart and skirt chaser who pretty much wound everyone up, including his own team.
In what way?
He's too good for starters. That was never the plan. He's a domestique, an understudy following team orders, letting Mitch draft in his slipstream and then letting Mitch go on to win, not racing for himself.
But as you said, if he won, it'd be great for Des and for his team as a whole.
Team DJM is named after Des for a reason. It's all about the McCordles. Des is a failed cyclist. He never made the grade. And he will do anything to make sure that his boys do. You want to know who benefits from Greg Eden's death? It's Mitch and Aiden McCordle. Neither were going to win the race before. Now both can.
With Greg Eden out of the race, can your riders win too?
My boys are quite a ways behind.
Well, one of them is suddenly up into a podium position, though, isn't he?
Hypothetically, yes.
Mr. Dexter, could your riders now win the race?
Yes.
Are you okay? Not really, no. Gotta get me and Aid back on track. I think I've blown it with him. And Des. The only reason I'm not sacked now is because he needs me to prep the bikes.
You and Aiden, me and Mitch. We used to have it so sorted. What happened? Greg came along. You know you can tell me anything if you need to. Amber?
Nothing to tell.
Let's speak to the other team owners, and I want to tackle the race organizer, Damien Lamorat. Our team DJM.
Cagey about Greg Eden. He was clearly the outsider, and there was definite tension around mention of relationships.
Oh, a hint of scandal, perhaps. It wouldn't be a surprise, training and competing together, living in each other's pockets.
Ah, Inspector.
Mr. Lamorat and Stockerton. Do you work for Cara as well?
Oh, no.
No, Joe and I, we live together.
I'm just a fan. Cycling's in my veins.
I see. Over the years, has there been a history of trouble between any of the teams? DJM and Ravensdale, for example?
A bit of finger pointing. Mainly from Reese.
About what?
Anything he can moan about.
And what about the locals? Have they always embraced it, or has there been opposition?
Everyone loves it. Bar one.
The one being...
Jerry Bleacher. Reckons it endangers the animals' habitats. He's opposed the race since the beginning.
Hi.
Hi.
These look lovely. May I?
Please. Carved by my own fair hand, or not so fair as the case may be.
Well, they say suffering is the key to all great art.
Well, if it's worth doing well, I guess. Hello.
Can I take this one?
Of course.
It's a lovely event, isn't it?
I'm not a cycling fan myself. This race comes at a price. It's a threat to the habitat of all the animals in the area.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm sure everyone will be careful.
I wish that were true. This race is dangerous. People die.
Right, come on, you two. We're home. We'll get unpacked, settled. It'll be okay.
Dad, what are we going to do?
We keep on going. That's what. We keep on.
Even given what's happened to Greg?
Especially given what's happened to Greg. You are going to win it for Greg.
Never mind them. Treatment room for you, Buster.
Dad's not exactly called a period of mourning, has he? Well, that's just how we feel. Just so long as your boyfriend Mitch is okay. Sorry.
Really don't apologize. I wish Mitch wasn't quite so under your dad's thumb. At least you have some freedom. You can do whatever you want.
Are you trying to get rid of me?
No, then I'd be even more isolated.
You're lucky you don't have to put up with any of this family nonsense.
Oh, I don't know. You're lucky you've got family. You should try and hang in there with your dad if you can.
Not sure I can take it much more, to be honest.
The fair seems to be thriving. I mean, if news of what's happened has spread, it doesn't seem to stop people coming.
Oh, good. I hope not.
Don't worry. Everything's going to be okay.
Do you think so?
Oh, I know so. I mean, all thanks to you. I mean, where would this place be without you, eh?
Thanks.
Not a broken bone? Nothing?
Clean as a whistle. I did, however, find flecks of paint on a wrench that was found near the body. I'm running tests on them now.
So how did Greg die?
He was poisoned. Clostridium botulinum, a powerful neurotoxin. He was injected with a massive dosage, resulting in respiratory failure.
Injected where?
This is the clever bit. With an extremely fine needle deep into the armpit. Difficult to locate, but I found it.
Of course he did.
Presumably done to make it look like the victim died of natural causes.
Yep.
Would he have died instantly?
With this dosage, yes. Lower doses consumed orally, for example, would just cause fatigue and weakness.
So if you wanted to target a team as a whole, could it be used to affect the cyclists' performances?
Definitely.
As a precautionary measure, we need to test every cyclist then. I'll speak to Damien Lamorat.
What have you done with the package?
I've chucked it. What was I meant to do?
Well, give it to the police, obviously. It's evidence. Look, a cyclist's been killed and now someone's threatening you.
I really don't need the hassle at the moment, not with everything going on. It's probably just some crank not happy about the race.
The note mentioned something you've done. What do they mean?
I don't know.
Not at all, Inspector. Leave it with me.
Everything okay?
Greg Eden was poisoned. We were about to do a random drug test with some of the cyclists. The police would like us to extend it to all of them.
Is that a problem?
Let's hope not.
Are we okay with the tests?
Of course we are. You can call me many things, but cheat isn't one of them.
Mitch okay?
Believe me, I'm more determined than ever for him to win.
That's not what I asked.
He's a McCordle. He'll be fine.
Better be.
Don't worry, Joe. Mitch knows the race is more important than anything. Or anyone. Yeah.
Everything okay?
Yeah.
Come on, what is it?
It's nothing. It's just your dad, I guess, giving me the cold shoulder. He's never going to accept me. Us.
Don't worry about him. He's just obsessed with the race. More than ever after what happened to Greg. We all are. I'm sorry. Once this is over, it'll be different.
Will it? Win or lose, I don't care. As long as we're together.
Hey, enough of that. We're wanted for testing.
Really?
Everyone, apparently, but ours is not to reason why, so come on. The sooner we're done, the sooner we get back.
We've checked Greg Eden's bank statements. He was being paid regular and increasing amounts of money.
Are they traceable?
Cash deposits.
Bribery? Blackmail?
Possibly. I'll look into it. I've also done some digging on Jerry Bleacher. It seems he was at the forefront of a number of environmental protests in the area. Numerous warnings for antisocial and threatening behaviour, disturbing the peace, a fray, once at the McCordles. Sir, what is it?
Greg Eden's phone details, a list of text messages he received, including, "I'm going to get you for this."
From?
Aidan McCordle. Mr. McCordle, DCI Barnaby.
How can I help?
My colleague, D.S. Nelson, told me how upset you and your brother are about Greg Eden.
Of course. We were teammates.
Must have been tough at times, though. Seeing each other day in, day out. The pressure cooker of competition.
It's what we do.
Ever had any fallings out with Greg? Specifically in the last couple of weeks?
No. Why would I?
Well, that's what I was wondering, having seen the text messages you sent him.
That was just, friendly banter. You know, it happens all the time. Boy talk?
About anyone in particular?
Like the lad said, Inspector, there's nothing to write home about. Greg and Aidan fought like cat and dog in training. All cyclists do. I'm sure that's what the texts were about. Isn't that right, Aidan?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Really? I'm going to get you for this. Why would you say that?
Greg was always cutting Aid up in training. Happens all the time. Doesn't it, Mitch?
Sure.
Greg was a terrier like that. It was no big deal, honestly. Now, if you'll excuse us, we've been summoned for a drugs test.
Don't let me stop you. Although, one other thing. Separate to his salary, Greg Eden was receiving cash deposits on a regular basis from an unnamed source. Any idea who or what that might be?
Sorry. Nothing to do with me. Right, in the car, you two.
Nice carvings.
Glad you like them. Which one you after?
Actually, I wanted to ask a few questions. Are you Jerry Bleacher?
I might be. Who's asking?
Sergeant Nelson, Causton CID.
Oh, yeah. What have I done now?
You tell me.
I suppose people have been pointing the finger for a change. You really don't want to be listening to local tittle-tattle.
I wouldn't. Can we go inside?
Do we have to?
It's up to you, but I wouldn't have thought a police interview on your doorstep would be great for business.
Is it true what they're saying? That someone got killed?
A cyclist from the local team, Greg Eden. Did you know him?
Don't know any of the bike lot. Don't go near him.
But you had run-ins with the McCordles in the past. You were thrown off their property.
Protest is proof of powerlessness.
But why protest in the first place?
Because I'm an environmental activist. And the McCordles' activities are damaging the environment.
Does that include this race, even though it's a road race?
It's watched by thousands. People come from miles around. The fields get turned into car parks. People go where they shouldn't. They litter. They trash the place.
So where were you when the race was happening?
In the pub.
The Six Bells?
Yeah.
And what about afterwards?
I went to get some materials for my carvings. I've got a store in the woods.
Can anyone vouch for you? Did anyone see you?
Doubt it.
Yes, Jerry was here, carping on, his usual eco-warrior spiel.
Each to their own.
Well, don't you go backing him up. It's bad for business, cluttering up the bar and moaning on. Can't stand his carvings either.
Well, I like them. Jerry's a mate.
When exactly did he leave?
Just before the end of the race.
Did he say where he was going?
No.
Claims he was collecting some wood for his carvings.
So he says.
With the police asking questions, it goes without saying that we need to present a united front.
At the moment, united fronts are the least of my worries. It's all I can do to get a team out. Whatever happened to our heightened security?
What's that? Nothing, I'm fine. Try telling your face there. Just back off, okay?
Drew a blank on the cash deposits. They were all made by Greg Eden himself.
Okay. What about Jerry Bleacher? Having left the pub before the end of the race, could he have gone to the cycling camp?
It's possible. I'm trying to find him amongst this mobile phone footage now. Although he claims he was collecting some wood for his animal carvings.
Why would he target Greg Eden specifically?
Sir, what did Aidan McCordle have to say about the texts?
Brushed them off as the result of a training ground spat. The McCordles definitely know how to close ranks. Why?
I think this suggests something more than training ground tension.
Ah, So that's what Greg Eden and Amber Layard were up to. Miss Layard, DCI Barnaby. You look busy.
No rest for the wicked.
How long have you been going out with Aidan McCordle?
About a year.
And Greg Eden? How well did you know him?
Well enough. He was a team member. We're all pretty close.
Oh, right. So you'd know why your boyfriend sent Greg Eden some angry texts then? About you?
It's news to me. Maybe you should ask Aidan.
I have. He was evasive as well.
Well, I can't help you then.
Shame, because we also have footage of you with Greg Eden just after the race, before he entered his tent.
Look, we had a fling. That's all. Aidan found out and he went mad, but we're trying to work it out. It was over between me and Greg.
Didn't look like it from the footage we have.
The end of the race was just in the heat of the moment.
And does Aidan know about that?
No. And I don't want him to.
And who knows about your fling, apart from Aidan?
The McCordles. Des and Mitch.
Do you think we should pull out of the race?
No. Why would we do that?
How about out of respect for a fellow team member that was murdered?
And since when did you have respect for Greg? It's not how it was a week ago, was it? No. I seem to remember you couldn't stand the sight of the guy then.
So how about it's because I'm worried about Mitch?
Don't be. You're not my keeper.
Let's just get through the next couple of days.
Why shouldn't he race? He's Mitch McCordle. He races, he wins.
Yeah, and what'll he wear? Greg's orange jersey.
8. Right, look. I know it's been a hard day for all of us, but we have faced death before. When your mother died, I vowed that I would do whatever it took to make you champions.
No, when Mum died, he took us off for time trials in Norway. Didn't he, Mitch? Didn't he? Say something, for Christ's sake. For once in your life, just stand up for yourself.
Don't worry.
Hey. Sorry about Greg. You all right? What's your dad gonna do?
Well, that's me. I'd be the last to know.
Well, if you had any sense, you'd develop your potential. Focus on you more. Look, my team are aging. We could use some fresh blood. Come join us at Ravensdale. You'd be my #1 rider. Think about it.
Where did this come from? Bikes already? What's with the trivia?
Oh, pub quiz tomorrow night. We're going with Charlie and Cam, remember?
Ah, Nelson throwing down the gauntlet again. Any opportunity to spar with Cam?
Tell Charlie to go easy on Cam. Doesn't he remember what you were like when he first started?
Don't know what you mean. I was charm personified.
In a grumpy and unwelcoming kind of a way. How's Cam doing, anyway?
And how would I know that?
By asking her? In a compassionate and understanding managerial kind of a way.
A what?
Mama. 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 Mama.
Sarah? What did you just say?
I was singing.
Singing? I hope you weren't encouraging your daughter to say mama rather than dada.
Would I?
Yes, you would. Where did this come from?
Oh, it's from a stall near the market fair. Lovely carving, strange man.
Strange.
Well, he was nice enough until I mentioned the race, and then he got all a bit doom and gloom. He said the race was dangerous and that people had died because of it.
Interesting. Yeah.
Mama.
Morning, sir. Mr. Lamrat is still unconscious in hospital. He received a blow to the back of the head, but he should be okay. They've screened his blood, no sign of poison.
OK, we'll interview him when he wakes up.
You asked me to check on any events taking place that could be targeted. There's a plaque being unveiled later today. Cara are commemorating Burwood Mantle's contribution to cycling.
Oh, a gathering of the great and good. I think perhaps we should be there for that, don't you?
So sorry to hear about Damien. How is he?
Still sedated. I'm just on my way to the hospital now.
Do you think, in the light of what's happened, it would be better to cancel the plaque unveiling, leave it for another time?
I don't see why. Damien would want it to go ahead. I can always stand in for him.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. The town deserves its award. And so do you.
OK, so the question is, did he disturb a burglary? Or was someone deliberately trying to kill him? Anyone seen entering the office at the time?
No, everyone had gone home for the day. Right then, Cam, what have you got for us?
Nelson, where are your manners? Good morning, Cam.
Morning, sir.
What have you got for us?
Hit with an object from behind, probably wooden. We found splinters with traces of blood on them. I can confirm if it's the victims when I get back to the lab.
Blood samples from the cyclists. Get a team together to rerun the tests. We need to make sure no one is at risk.
Understood. There's something else. You might want to talk to Team Ravensdale. I got the results back from the paint particles found on the wrench at the scene of Greg Eden's death. An exact match with the team colours of Ravensdale.
You speak to them, Nelson. I'll check on Mr. Lamrat.
Have you seen Aidan?
Earlier at the house. Why, what's wrong?
I just didn't see him last night and he's ignoring my calls.
He's a bit stressed at the moment, but then they all are, you know what they're like. Des can't be doing with me at the best of times, but at the moment...
Oh, tell me about it. He's barely speaking to me.
You must be mad getting involved with the McCordles. He'll come round. Give it time.
I think it's going to take a bit more than that.
Hey. Listen, about yesterday.
Yeah, there's no point in going over it again.
Agreed. It was a tough day for all of us, very stressful. So what do you say we just draw a line under it, forget all about it?
Then what?
How do you mean? With the race? Well, we carry on. Assuming the race goes ahead, we stick to the plan and head for the home straight.
I mean, after the race is finished. How are you going to replace Greg?
I haven't even thought about that yet. Let's just cross that bridge when we come to it.
What if I'm already at that bridge? You might not have thought about it, but I have. You're going to bring someone else in or focus more on me?
Like I say, it's too early.
Why do you give up on me, Dad?
Don't know what you're talking about.
Was hoping to see you last night.
Yeah, need some time to figure stuff out.
And did you?
Yeah. I saw you at the end of the race with Greg. I saw you kiss him.
Aid, please. It was just in the heat of the moment.
What, and that makes it okay? You said your fling was a one-off.
I was confused. We can work this out.
Do you know what? I'm sick of you all. I'm sick of being lied to. Things are going to change.
So you have no idea who attacked you?
Honestly, I didn't see a thing.
Is there anyone you've fallen out with recently? Or anything in your office that someone might want to steal?
Not that I can think of. I mean, I can check if you want to see if anything's gone missing.
I don't think you're about to go anywhere at the moment.
When you're discharged, we'll be fine. It's a bit of a coincidence that your office was broken into before my team could collect the samples. Did anyone know why we'd expanded the testing?
I think all the teams realised it was something to do with Greg Eden's death. It was unusual for everyone to be tested.
Did you tell anyone about our arrangement?
I hadn't told anyone specifically, but someone could have seen them brought over.
Do let me know if anything has gone missing.
I will. I need you to do something for me.
I really don't understand what this has got to do with me.
Mr. Dexter, a wrench found at Greg Eden's murder scene came from your team.
So? Clearly, either someone stole it or is trying to point the finger of suspicion in my direction. If I was going to kill someone, I would do the exact same thing.
Would you? The thought has crossed your mind then, has it?
Figuratively speaking.
And if you're right, figuratively speaking, who might do that?
You tell me. You're the cop.
Previously, you indicated suspicion of Des McCordle and his team.
For me, look no further. Him and Lambert are in cahoots. Thick as thieves, those two, I'm telling you.
Did you know Mr. Lambert had been attacked last night?
Yeah, news travels.
Any idea who might want to do that?
Take your pick. Lambert's a slippery customer who has his favorites, which, at the very least, is divisive. Wouldn't surprise me if he's put someone's nose out of joint.
Mr. Dexter, if it's all right with you, I'd like to search your office.
Have you got a warrant?
I can get one.
Well, then you better, because no, it's not all right with me.
What are you doing? Final stage will be my last for DJM. Then I'm off.
You can't leave.
Watch me.
What's happening, eh?
I'm out. I'm leaving.
No, you don't mean it.
Even now, you can't take me seriously, can you? You're going to be on your own from now on, bro. And I guess for Dad, you always were. On your own out front.
We need to stick together.
Who asked you? Just keep out of it.
No, I don't want to hear it.
Why are you doing this to me? To us? I have done everything for you.
Everything but have faith in me.
I've treated you both as equals, always.
Come on, Dad. Now you're having a laugh. You've always favoured him and you know it.
I'm listening to this. What's up, Dad?
Feeling rejected. Hurts, doesn't it?
Why are you doing this to him?
Who are you to judge? I know your secret. And you know something else? Even knowing that, I'll still win. I'll beat you into second place. You see how that feels?
How was Reese Dexter?
Resistant. He wouldn't let us do a search without a warrant.
Let's get one then. And not just for him. Let's search the whole cycling camp. Do a bit of digging into all the team's backgrounds, their funding and their finances.
Sir, we've retaken the blood tests. No further signs of poisoning so far.
That's something.
We've also found some fibres on a drawer that was ransacked. It comes from a synthetic fibre, a polyester, polyurethane, copolymer containing elastane. Spandex? They're probably cycling gloves, and they have traces of DNA on them. I'll see if I can find a match on the database.
Good work. Keep us informed.
Yes.
I have burned everything that was there. How do I know if it's all of it?
Check and check again.
This is an outrage.
Not really. We're searching every team's premises. But in addition to that, we have evidence linking yours to the murder of Greg Eden.
Guess what? It's a contract. Aidan McCordle signed for Ravensdale.
Big day for you today, isn't it? The grand unveiling of a commemorative plaque. Oh, you must be beside yourself.
It's not for me, it's for the race and the town as a whole.
Oh, is that right?
What are you doing here, Jerry? Why come if you disapprove of me so much?
I'm not here for you. It's a pub, and Jez is a mate.
Well, I don't like it. Have you been snooping around?
Snooping around where? What's that supposed to mean?
Everything all right?
I just don't trust him, that's all.
Would you stop winding her up? What's wrong with you and Jerry?
About this plaque. Joanna's insisting we go ahead, but I'm not so sure.
Why ever not?
Something about it.
It'll be fine. Oh, come on, it's got to be you that does the unveiling. The town wouldn't have it any other way. And nor would I. Just stop being paranoid about Jerry.
Cam?
Trauma to forehead. Not clear at the moment what from. Irregular pattern on the laceration's edge suggests a bicycle chain, but the depth is fairly superficial. That wouldn't be enough to kill someone. Daze, yes, but not to kill.
So what was the cause of death?
It's tricky. Same as last time. No obvious puncture marks, hemorrhages, or fractures. Whoever did this isn't making it easy for us.
I gather you found the body. Again.
I'd come to prep the kit. Wasn't even expecting him to be there.
When was the last time you saw him?
This morning?
Did he tell you that he was defecting to another team? Ravensdale. What about your relationship? Had you spoken to him since Greg Eden's death?
Briefly. I wanted it to work. I really did.
And what did Aiden want? Ms. Layard, what did Aiden want?
He told me he was leaving me. But I didn't kill him, if that's what you're thinking.
Well, that's very helpful. Thank you. Sir, I've had news back on the various teams' sponsorship and endorsement deals. All DJM's deals revolve around, guess who?
Mitch McCordle?
He's the poster boy, the one the sponsors want.
So DJM needs Mitch to win?
Well, it gets better. Des is stretched financially. He managed to secure a sponsor, but he really needs this win.
Who backed him?
Joanna Stockerton. The local girl made good. Made millions out of an app she created at uni.
Damien Lamorat's girlfriend funds DJM. That sounds like a conflict of interest. No wonder Reese Dexter isn't happy. You speak to her. I'll talk to the McCordles. I'm very sorry for your loss. I have to ask, did you know about Aiden's decision to leave the team?
Yes, he told me this morning.
And did you know he'd signed for Ravensdale?
No. Didn't.
What was your response to being told he wanted to leave?
I was adamant that he wouldn't go. Told him that he couldn't leave.
How did he take that?
Badly.
We were all shocked.
Was there an argument? And how did you feel about him leaving the team?
He was my brother. We learned to ride our bikes together when we were 4. I don't know what I'll do without him.
Just find out who did this.
Are you okay?
Trying to be. I have to do this for Dad.
No offense, but forget your dad. You have to do what's right for you, and no one else.
I want to win. Move to the next level.
If that's what you want.
And I want you to be one of the family, not just part of the team. Maybe we should get married, family or something.
If that was a proposal of marriage, Mitch McCordle, it's not the most romantic, but I'll take it.
Just one more day.
How is Mr. Lamorat?
Hospital say he's going to be fine and can hopefully come home tomorrow. Terrible news about Aiden.
How long have you known the McCordles? You grew up in Burwood Mantle, didn't you?
That's right. I've known them all since childhood. Family friends. They used to chase me on their bikes.
How did you end up funding the team? I gather you design apps.
Just the one, really. I got lucky. A simple program that allows kids to design their own web pages. It was free, but the advertising was... Anyway, I did very well.
And then Des approached you.
That's right. As soon as I left uni after the app took off, I came home.
Why did you come back?
Returned to what I knew, I guess. And suddenly I was able to indulge my passion for cycling. I started to follow the circuit. That's when I met Damien.
Does your relationship with Mr. Lamorat cause any issues?
No, why would it?
Accusations of favoritism, for example. At the very least, you must get the inside track on race politics.
Like I said, I'm just a fan.
So you keep saying.
Seriously, anything you need.
What did he want? Commiserating about Aiden. How's Mitch?
He's proposed.
That's brilliant news, Kim.
You've got jobs to do. I suggest you do them or you'll be going the way she is.
You can't talk to her like that.
I will talk to her any way I like.
Well, Mitch has proposed. So Kim's your future daughter-in-law.
Joanna Stockerton,
Known the McCordles since they were kids. Insists she's just a keen follower.
who bankrolls the team and goes out with the race organiser.
I know. I'm not sure she's quite as innocent as she'd like us to think.
Anything on the DNA found on the glove samples?
Not yet. We're still trying to find a match. But as for Aidan McCordle, His lungs were pumped.
Pumped.
The murderer lashed him with a bicycle chain and then took one of these, a high-pressure air compressor. It was inserted in through his mouth and
We
then...
get the picture, Cam.
Why go to such lengths? I mean, if you just wanted to kill someone, there are more straightforward ways of doing it.
Maybe someone's trying to throw us off the scent, suggesting they're from the world of cycling when perhaps they're not.
Maybe. There's a progression, though, too. Greg Eden's murder was made to look like natural causes, hoping we wouldn't notice otherwise.
Whereas Aidan McCordle's death was clearly staged.
Fully aware we'd find out.
Indicating what, exactly?
That Aidan McCordle's death wasn't part of the original plan. Something changed.
Her of all people, she's a nobody.
Don't talk about her like
I
that.
really thought that you had more sense, better taste. The Kims of this world are 10 a penny.
Enough.
I just want what's best for you, and she is not it. All I've ever wanted is for my boys to be something in life and in racing. So just think again, yeah? For me?
No, I won't. It's never been about me. It's always been about you. It's always about what you want, what you think. And look what that did to Aid.
Damien apologises for not being able to make it. He's on the mend, but was keen that we still take this opportunity to recognise the amazing contribution over 5 years now that the race has made to the town and the people here. And to do the honours, the woman who made it happen, Councillor Mary Appleton.
It gives me great pleasure on behalf of the town to unveil this commemorative plaque for the race that we all share.
Do you have any idea what this is about? Or why anyone would do this?
It's probably nothing.
I can't do this. If you don't say something, I will.
Say what?
A fresh cow's heart was delivered in a box to the pub for Mary.
I'm sure it's just because of all this. Because of the race. It'll just be some crank.
But why would they call you a murderer?
And why would they leave a note?
A note? Do you still have it?
No, I'm sorry.
What did it say?
It said, I know what you did.
I've no idea what it means. No idea at all.
So why didn't you report it?
I did try to get her to.
I didn't want any fuss. I just wanted it to go away.
Cam on her way?
Yeah. I can tell you now, it's not blood, it's paint. Red paint. Jerry Bleacher signs his carvings with red paint.
Ah, Sergeant. You come back for a second look. And you brought a friend? I can cut you a deal on a bulk purchase if you like.
We're not here about your carvings, Mr. Bleacher.
Is that a fact? Shame.
DCI Barnaby. We're keen to speak to you about an incident connected to the cycling race.
Don't tell me. More gossip.
Not exactly, no.
Des, I'm really sorry about Aidan.
Yeah.
How's, Mitch taking it? Is he ready for tomorrow? His big day?
Don't ask me. His head's been turned.
Who by?
Kim. They're getting married.
Mr. Bleacher, you are strongly opposed to the race coming to the area.
I'm committed to my ideals.
Yes, we've seen your record. Nothing if not consistent.
I know what I believe.
And exactly how far would you go in pursuit of those beliefs?
You asking me if I'd kill?
Would you?
I believe in life, Inspector. In all its forms. That's why I try and protect the countryside. I don't have a problem with people. I just wish they'd be more considerate to other creatures. But no, I'm not about to kill over it.
What about Councillor Appleton?
What about her?
It seems as though someone is starting a campaign against her, accusing her in public of being a murderer.
Well, if someone accused her in public, you must know who they are.
The word murderer was daubed on a plaque she was unveiling.
With the same gloss paint you use on your carvings.
So? My paint's freely available.
There's clearly no love lost between you and her. Care to tell us why?
I'm Jez's mate, not hers. That's all.
How long have you known Jez?
Since before he met Mary. When he was married.
Married? Where is his wife now?
She was killed 5 years ago. In an accident at the first bike race.
Something you said to one of your customers, that the race was dangerous and someone died because of it. I thought you were referring to a cyclist, but you weren't, were you?
Jez's wife, Judith. She was a steward at the race. They said she made a mistake.
What sort of mistake?
She let a load of people down a side road that had been blocked off for transport vehicles just as one was coming through.
Killing her?
And injuring others.
You just told us they said she made a mistake. Is there some doubt?
Judith was a careful, sensible woman. I mean, I find it hard to believe she made such a mistake, and I know Jez did too. But the inquest found otherwise.
Look, please don't be cross about earlier. I had to say something.
I know.
Can I ask you... Do you think it might be anything to do with the accident that killed Judith?
No. Why?
Oh, I don't know. I just wondered.
There was an investigation. Judith Oliver was found negligent, and Mary gave evidence against her. Everyone seemed to think it was a tragic mistake.
Clearly not everyone.
Do you think these attacks on Mary are linked to the murders?
Let's find out.
You've been so good to me. I would never have got over losing Judith if I hadn't met you. You were there for me in my darkest hour.
Please don't, Jez.
I thought my life was over, but it wasn't.
You don't understand.
But what?
It's... Someone's found something out from back then. I'm so sorry. It is about Judith. It was the first ever race. Nobody really knew what we were doing. Looking back, we just weren't ready. I had a plan for which roads could be opened up if we needed to. But so many more people came than we were expecting. We had no idea.
I know all of this from the investigation. I know you had to open some of the roads, but not that one. Judith opened the wrong one.
No, she didn't.
That road was clearly marked not to be opened.
I changed it. I doctored it. My plan was wrong. The road should never have opened. Judith radioed me to query it. She thought it couldn't be right. I was under pressure. I was panicked.
What did you say?
I told her to open it. I know I shouldn't have, but believe me, I've had to live with that ever since.
It was me. Me. I found your original plan.
It was you. You sent me that package. You set out to terrify me. How could you do that? Why?
Because I needed to be sure. I loved her more than anything, and you took her away from me. And now, finally, you're gonna have to pay.
Jess, please.
Sir? How could you reach out to me after that?
Open it.
After what you did?
I felt guilty.
Mr. Oliver.
I told her to open it. I know I shouldn't have, but believe me, I've had to live with that ever since.
It's all on there.
Mary has agreed to give us a statement about the incident in which your wife lost her life.
Well, that's all I wanted. To clear Judith's name.
We won't be needing your recording, which constitutes entrapment. But you will be facing a charge of harassment on account of the package and the plaque. That was you, wasn't it?
Yes, I did both.
Did Jerry Bleacher know?
No. I acted alone. I just had to get a confession out of her. People need to know the truth.
All set, champ?
As I'll ever be.
I want to say I'm sorry.
It's Kim you should say sorry to.
I don't mean about yesterday. I mean about everything. You were right. It has always been about me. I have tried to live my life through my kids, which I shouldn't have. I just wanted you to have the shot at success that I never got.
And I will. I just want today to be over with.
But that's just it. I don't want you to anymore. I don't think you should race.
I'm Mitch McCordle, remember? I race, I win.
But at what cost? I drove your mother to an early grave. And I never told my eldest that I loved him. Just look at what racing has cost us.
Too late, Dad.
Not necessarily. I can always pull the plug, close the team down. I can call Damien and tell him you're not racing.
Yeah. But you're not going to do that, are you?
What's all this?
just team stuff.
It's not just team stuff, it's all about Mitch. Look at these.
Don't touch it. Don't you dare touch any of it.
Joanna, what's going on? I thought you were over him.
Over him? There is nothing to be over. Mitch made me a promise years ago, and today he is going to deliver on it. And then your history. I don't want you here when I get back.
Morning, sir. Get on to uniform. I want eyes and ears on the ground today. We need to think where the killer might strike next. So far, only DJM have been targeted.
And Mitch might be next.
Well, let's not tempt fate, Nelson. Although I agree, we need to keep a close watch on him. Imagine the pressure he's been under day in, day out for years. His father is obsessed.
I don't think he's the only one. When I was at Joanna Stockerton's, there was a large, blown-up photograph on the wall of Mitch. I thought it seemed a bit strange, so I looked into Joanna. You know, she once went out with him when they were teenagers.
First love can be a powerful thing, and she's a very powerful person.
The cycling gloves, worn by Mr. Lamrett's attacker. We've identified the DNA from an arrest made 3 years ago for a fray. Belongs to Reese Dexter.
Ready for the race, Mr. Dexter?
Well, we've done everything we can do. Now it's down to the cyclists.
Do you cycle much yourself?
No, I leave that to the pros.
Strange, because we have your DNA on fibres from a set of cycling gloves used at the break-in to Damien Lamrett's office. Were you disturbed while you were there? Is that why you hit him?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mr. Dexter, I'm happy to let all the other teams start the race and to pull the plug on just yours, unless you start talking.
I didn't mean to hurt him. He came back and I panicked.
Why were you there? To trash the blood samples?
No, I just knocked him over to make it look like that was the reason somebody broke in. And I probably did somebody a favor.
Meaning?
Mitch McCordle's times have picked up. How shall I put it? Abnormally in recent stages.
So if it wasn't to trash the samples, why were you there?
To get leverage.
Theft, Mr. Dexter?
Proof, Inspector. Damien Lamrett takes backhanders from Des McCordle. I'm just protecting my own interests in case they ever try to pin anything on me.
Get uniform to take Mr. Dexter's statement. And tell Cam to screen Mitch's blood for performance enhancers.
Will do.
It doesn't matter what's happened. Don't worry about your dad. I can buy you a team. It's just going to be us from now on.
How do you mean, Joe?
This is the day we've been waiting for all those years.
Sorry?
You remember when we were together, you said I had to let you go if I wanted to help your dream come true. That we could be together after that once you'd made it. And your dream comes true today. Because that's what I did. That's what drove me. That's why I went away and why I came back. For you.
What are you doing?
You love me, Mitch.
No, I don't. I'm with Kim.
Kim? Like me and Damien, it's just a convenience. Once the race is finished, you can break up with her.
I don't want to. I don't know what you're talking about. We were never even really going out, were we? We were young. It didn't mean anything.
How can you say that?
I'm sorry, Are you serious?
Why else would I sponsor the team?
Going somewhere, Mr. Lamorat?
So it would seem.
Perhaps you'll need these. Details of illegal financial transactions between you and Des McCordle. Backhanders. In return for what? Fixing a race? Fixing the deaths of cyclists?
No, it's nothing like that. It's just nuts and bolts stuff. He pays me some cash and DJM gets preferential treatment. PR favors, better positioning at race venues, better accommodation, personal security.
Personal security? Why?
There was an incident at a race in Ireland and someone tried to get at Mitch. And Des asked me to keep an extra eye.
Check it out. So why are you leaving?
I thought she was over him, but she's clearly not. Everything, the whole thing was about Mitch.
She's not financing a team at all. He's only financing Mitch.
Des? Sir, I contacted the race organisers in Ireland about the incident involving DJM. Someone was arrested. They've given me a name and a number. Lawrence Carter.
Des, you cannot pull Mitch out of the race. Not now. Des, are you okay?
What is it?
He's at the cycle camp. I heard what sounded like a scuffle and then the line went dead.
We need to locate Team DJM owner Des McCordle urgently. Put a trace on his phone and get backup and paramedics on standby. Have you got that phone number? Let's see what Lawrence Carter's got to say for himself. Where's your father? Have you seen him? No. Stay here. Sir.
I'm meant to be racing in minutes.
I'm aware of that. But someone just tried to kill your father. He's going to be okay. But he was attacked because he was about to pull you from the race. Who would do that?
Can we get Mitch to the start line? He has to race.
I'm afraid he won't be racing today. Mitch, the last time you raced in Ireland, there was an incident. What was that about?
Some rival fan tried to get at me. Kim had security remove him.
Actually, it wasn't a rival fan. Was it, Kim? It was Lawrence Carter, your husband.
You're married?
Of course not.
I've spoken with Mr. Carter.
The man's a fantasist. You can't believe a word he says.
We checked. The marriage is certified. Kim? What the hell's going on?
Nothing. Getting married was a mistake. He treated me like dirt.
That's not what he told me, Kim. He said that when he ended the relationship because of your possessiveness, you took revenge. You stole from him and disappeared.
The man's a liar.
Carter tracked you down and tried to warn Mitch, didn't he? But you threatened him and scared him off, which would have been the end of it if Greg Eden hadn't witnessed the altercation, spoken to Carter, and started blackmailing you. He'd uncovered your secret. But he wanted more and more money. Money that you didn't have.
Is this true?
No, not really.
Tell me, did Lawrence Carter mention that when he was looking for you, he found your family?
You said you didn't have a family.
I was abandoned.
Originally. But then you were adopted, weren't you?
At least you've got family.
Why did you lie to me?
Well, I know what it's like, Mitch, to be mistreated by your parents. Mine didn't want me. Then my adopted parents lost interest and got rid of me. They changed.
What are you talking
They
about?
had a baby, everything was different after that. I was pushed out. Forgotten. They abandoned me too!
And that was your biggest fear, wasn't it? To be on your own. Your marriage was a desperate bid to finally belong. And yet it wasn't Lawrence Carter's rejection that turned you into a killer. That happened when you met Mitch.
I don't understand. Have you just been using me all this time?
No. With you, it was different. Well, I fell in love for real. I had to protect us.
And that's why you got rid of Greg.
Well, he said he'd tell you everything. I was afraid I'd lose you. I couldn't have that.
What about Aid?
Who are you to judge? I know your secret.
He knew you were doping. And he'd left the team. He was a threat. He'd have ruined you. I had to be sure. I didn't want to kill him, but I did it for us, for you.
He was my brother.
But look what he was doing to you. You can't trust family, but you can trust me. Don't you see, I'm the only one you need. We still have each other. We'll always have each other.
No.
Mitch!
I should have listened to you. I'm a cheat. I've let you down.
No, you haven't let me down. If anything, I've let you down. You, Aiden, your mother. I thought winning was the most important thing. I couldn't have been more wrong.
Well, it's over now. I'm finished. Won't be allowed to race anymore.
No.
Whatever you want to do, I will support you. You know that.
Dad.
But please, I want to make this right if you'll let me. A fresh start for both of us.
Fresh start. Okay.
No winners there, then?
No. Families get it wrong all the time, Nelson. Des undoubtedly cared for his sons, but expressed it in the wrong way.
Whereas Kim Fossey's family didn't care enough.
sadly. Are you cycling home tonight?
No, I think I'll give cycling a rest for a while. Are you still on for the pub quiz later?
Oh, of course. In fact, we should get a move on. We don't want to keep Sarah and Cam waiting.
True. I hope Cam doesn't take it all too seriously.
I don't know, Nelson. After all, we're on the same team.
Question 7. What do you call a young squirrel?
It's kitten.
Question 8. A narrow strip of land connecting two larger land areas, usually with water on either side, is called...
Isthmus.
Question number 9. Here's one for the football fans.
Go on, Charlie, I'll let you have this one.
Okay, hit me.
If it was Sunderland in 1979 and Villa in 1981, who was it in 1980?
Trevor Brooking. It's the scorers of the winning goals in the FA Cup final. 1979, Alan Sunderland. 1981, Ricky Vere. 1980, Trevor Brooking. Scored with his head.
She's right.
I see what you mean about their competitiveness. I'm exhausted.
I thought Nelson was going to break the table at one point. He was clutching it so hard.
We won! Get in.
Yay!
Where's Cam?
Oh, she had to go. Her boyfriend back in London rang.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Ma. Go.
Go.